Hello, everybody. Hope everybody's doing great today. And today we'll be talking about Little Women, episodes 5 and 6. And boy, weren't they great episodes and really moved the story forward. Just briefly, I didn't make any videos for 3 and 4. I was planning on it, but due to my schedule, I wasn't able to do it. But there's a real thing about my thoughts on 3 and 4. During those episodes, we could see why the rich family is able to take advantage of this poor family or family that we've been following. And it's basically because our 3 sisters are not really united, they're not really together, they're all going their separate ways. Our 2 older sisters are not really taking very good care of the younger sister. I think that's why she's gravitating towards this rich, powerful family, because in those episodes they seem more united and caring for each other and then the family she's coming from. And so they're able to the rich family is able to take advantage of this, pull our youngest sister to their side. And then the 2 older sisters are kind of doing their own thing. One's trying to investigate the rich family and the corruption, and the older one just trying to get money from this rich family. So let's get into 5 and 6. Yes, these episodes were really good, and episode 5 was able to see, and there are some spoilers in here. I'll try not to make any major spoilers, but in episode 5, we did see that this rich family, everything that they were portraying themselves as is kind of a fake, kind of a camouflage of how they really are, and it's all just for political gain. The father and the mother are kind of crazy in a lot of ways, in their own different ways. The father definitely has problems with being violent, as we've seen in episode 5, when the mother escaped. Not really escaped, but she went away without telling him. And it's no wonder that through their actions, their own daughter's kind of messed up in a way in the head. They got her heavily medicated, just because she's always kind of like nervous and anxious. What's going on in that family. It's definitely not a household that would be healthy for a child to grow up in. So they will cause in the future psychological damage to their young daughter. And the mother, she has her own little issues. I don't think she realized when she first married the guy running for governor that he was going to be that crazy. She realized that he would be a potential candidate to hold political power, but I don't think she realized he was going to be as possessive as he is. And as soon as I got time, she's just wanting to escape that the atmosphere, that environment. As we see, she just runs away, and I believe in episode 5 and stuff, and then she gets upset when he's following her, having people following her and stuff. So I don't know if he doesn't really trust her, and I'm not really sure if she's having an affair on the side or not. Don't really touch on that very well. But anyways, we see that the rich family is definitely not as united as we first thought in the first 4 episodes, which was probably, back in my mind, was probably thinking that, that they're not really united. It's all just a front, a face, just so he can get more political power and come into office. And that's definitely what's going on there. The show really pushes on like the greed factor for the rich family. Their greed is for like political power and the things they sacrifice in order to get this power and such. And then for our poor family, it's for them to get rich. We see that the oldest daughter, she's trying. I hear in the beginning she was turning a blind eye to like really try and get justice for her friend, just so she could sell those ledgers to get really rich. But I feel like in episode 6 probably is a game changer for her. Even before the traumatic event that happened at the end of episode 6, we kind of saw her doubting what she was doing just to get that money, that maybe that she should try to help bring these people to justice. That this guy really would be a bad person to be in charge of a city, to be a mayor. And then eventually he could become, the president of the country. So she was starting to go that way before what happened at the end of episode 6. I believe in the future she'll be definitely on board of trying to bring this family down. She just has to convince her sidekick, the guy that's helping her keep the ledgers and hopefully get her all that money that she's been desiring. He seems to be all in on the money, hoping that she can kind of make him doubt and bring her to the side where he'll help her bring the family down. I think that will eventually happen. Then we got the middle sister. She's her greed is in a little something different about bringing out the truth no matter what, and she's wanting to sacrifice whatever there is to bring out the truth, especially about this family. She's really trying to do whatever she can. She's kind of like frustrating sometimes. Like everything for her is like black and white. In a lot of ways, she reminds me of Ned Stark from the Game of Thrones. She really does see things in black and white. Like this is good, this is bad, and if it's bad, you should get rid of it, exploit it and stuff. We saw that in the beginning episodes when the sister brought on all that money. She was telling her to take it to the police. And there's nothing wrong with that. I don't find that as a problem. The only problem I have is that she's not smart when doing that. If you're going to be somebody who's going to play that line, black and white, and like go never do anything that's either iffy or bad, you're just going to do everything that's straight and narrow. Like I said, I have no problem with that, but you have to be smart in doing that. She's kind of doesn't have the patience to be that kind of person, as we saw that once she got the evidence that she thought would bring down the family, she just presented it, and then the rich family was able to use that against her to their own benefit. So she's going to have to learn to be a little bit more patient when she's trying to bring this family down and make sure she has all the goods that can really just wipe them out all at once, and that they wouldn't be able to maneuver. So I have no problem with the middle daughter. My favorite character is middle sister. My favorite character is the oldest sister. I feel like she's kind of like more realistic on what's going on in the world, and while she does know what's good and what's bad, she's willing to go in that gray area, if there is such a thing as a gray area when it comes to morality. If she's willing to go there, and while she's willing to do about anything she can to get that money, she's not willing to betray her sisters or her family. She still loves her family and is willing to do whatever she can to help them. And I think she would even sacrifice all that money to help her siblings. And then we get to the youngest sister, who is she's probably my least favorite character in the whole series. I mean, I like her even less than the villains. Just because, the villains are convicted, they're doing bad things, but they also are willing to do stuff for their own family and such. And we get this younger sister. She wants to go study abroad, and she's trying to use the family for her own, to get herself out of poverty, even if that means to turn her back and betray her own sisters. And that's the part I really like about her, is that she's willing to stab her own sisters in the back just to get what she wants. I don't really understand her storyline. I mean, she knows that the father is a very bad person, but she's still wanting to use them for her own benefit, kind of thing. And I don't know, if I saw somebody and knew somebody was that evil, I would probably want nothing to do with that family. But she's trying to play along with them just so she can get across, just to increase her ability to move up in society, become a rich person, and to get that scholarship to go to America to become an artist. So I don't know. I feel like she's kind of, in some ways, maybe even worse than a rich family, because she's willing to betray her own sisters in that regard. Hoping in the next 6 episodes she'll come around and start to, support her sisters a little bit more. And eventually, hopefully, these 3 will come together. I don't think, spoiler here. Well, I won't go too much into spoiler right now. See what else did I enjoy. I do enjoy the mystery. Right now we know who the villains are. It's just trying to get the evidence to take them down. Great character development and storylines going on right now. So right now I do recommend this series. If you haven't started watching it and you're watching this, do catch up. Watch those first 6 episodes. You'll enjoy it. Each episode's better. Now I'm going to go to some of the spoilers here. So from here on out, spoilers. So if you get spoiled, it's on you. I think the great aunt, I kind of thought she was going to die. If I would have made a video last week, I would have predicted her death. Maybe I did in the first 2 episodes. I'm not sure, but I think that was something that was going to have to happen. Just to help the story and make it more of, these poor girls trying to take down this rich family. Having somebody like her is kind of like a wild card. Like I believe I did say that in my first video. I think this will bring the 2 older sisters together and will help them actually get on the same page and taking this family down. I think this will be a wake-up call to the oldest sister, and that she'll put the money second and bring justice not only to her friend but to her great aunt as they were starting to get close together there in the end before she died. So yeah, I think it's gonna, but I don't think it's gonna affect the younger sister, because I don't even know there's a scene where the great aunt and the youngest sister were ever together, and so she's not really close to her. The aunt wasn't really close to the oldest sister; she was more closest to the middle sister. But in the end, the oldest sister and her were starting to form a bond. So I do think the next 2 episodes, we can see the 2 sisters getting together more. I don't know what it's going to take to bring the youngest sister to their side. Probably going to be one of the oldest sisters probably going to get injured really badly by this rich family, and that's probably what's going to eventually bring the oldest sister over to them. I think in the end, if I like to make speculations, I think they're going to bring down the parents, and they'll probably like adopt or something with their daughter. I think the daughter kind of liked when we saw in episodes 3 or 4, I believe, that the rich family's daughter kind of enjoyed being at their house. She found it interesting, and she found it. I think she said she found it more real. So I think she'll probably be with them, and then she'll have like a real family and such. The oldest sister and her starting to bond a little bit. The oldest sister might become more of a mother figure to her, considering her mother's kind of crazy in a lot of ways and not really wanting to be she wants to be a mother, but she's not really your typical mother kind of thing. The rich family's mother is very selfish, kind of like the 3 sisters' mother is, only in a different way, because she has some money to be selfish. And I do kind of enjoy that the series is more about, when we're talking about the poor family here, how they're poor, a lot of it's due to their personal decisions, their parents' personal decisions. The dad's a gambler, and he lost his business, and they're not really blaming society very much, but it's more a lot of it on the parents' personal decisions, and kind of how this affected the daughters, who the reason why they're in their situations because their parents didn't make right choices, and kind of brought the family down. But it just seemed like if the daughters, before this event, let's say this stuff never happened, that eventually the daughters would have been able to raise themselves out of poverty, because they're hard workers. It seemed like people who make good decisions. The middle sister had problems with drinking and such. However, she was being a successful reporter up to this time. So yeah, I think that's about it. I think that's all I got to say, 15 minutes into this video. If you're still here, thank you. Hope you hit the like button because you enjoyed it. But I'm predicting 0 people will make it this far. Anyways, have a great day and bye.